Big 12 Week 7 picks coming up right now. Okay, this is a great weekend for college football. We're going to pick the Big 12 games this weekend and a couple other games as well. Late night on Friday night, Utah at Arizona State at 9:30 p.m. Utah favored by 6, over under 45.5.
This is the get-right game for Utah.
I don't know what to think about this game, dude. I don't know what to think about this game. What do you got?
This is the get-right game for Utah. Look, if Cam Rising is not on Utah, then it's a struggle bus for them. But I do think that Utah is still a solid team. I mentioned this almost every stream, but their defense is elite. So it's been projected to be elite. I mean, they do a really good job of keeping teams down, for most of the game, only allowing maybe 20 points per game, if that. That's like the max that you can get on Utah. So I do think that Utah does have the edge here. They probably win. If they don't have Cam Rising, they probably win with like 28 points to like 14.
I'm trying to engage with the chat by commenting, but also talking. We're not nervous, but thank you for watching and commenting.
No, come on. Come on. That burn was genuinely a good burn. No one cares. Come on. You have to admit that was a good burn. That wasn't nervously laughing. I was genuinely a good laugh.
K-State's got an NFL corner for sure. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. I think this is also a get-right game for Utah. I do not think Arizona State is as good as their record is. We talked about how they barely beat KU, and we have KU ranked as the last team or the worst team in the Big 12. I got Utah winning 38-17, hitting the over and definitely covering the spread as well. Great Friday night game to kick off the weekend in the Big 12.
Yeah.
What was your score again?
28-17. Or 28-14. But I will say this.
Okay.
Man, I wish Brian Hanley was on this show, dude. I wish he would have just seen.
He would just tell us to not look at the chat because, I really wish he was here too. He should be here next week to talk about the West Virginia game, though. So,
and guess how many there will be if K-State wins, there will be 0 Colorado fans in our chat that game.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
I hope they are. Listen, I want Colorado to do well on the Big 12. I just don't think they're going to do well against K-State. And I'm going to say this about every team going forward. I want the teams to do well, but I don't want them to do well against K-State. And that's just the way it is.
These comments, dude.
That's a good burn. That's a good one.
That's almost as good as them saying you sound like an 8-year-old.
But that's a good burn, though. That's a good burn.
But shout out to Kenny. He actually has the voice of an angel. He's actually a musician. Ken Savvy. Check him out on YouTube. He's actually absolutely amazing, actually. So,
thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
I'm your number one fan. I have your CD in my car. And yes, I do still have CDs. Okay.
We're boomers, man.
I know. Okay. We talked about this earlier. Got to break it down here one more time. K-State at Colorado. K-State favored by 4, over under 56.5. I feel like the over in K-State on the spread is definitely the way to go here. Definitely the way to go. I have K-State winning. Actually, no, I'd have the under 34-20. And what was your score again?
Stat for DJ right there. Look at that stat.
83 carries, 604 yards. Yes, sir.
My God.
Yes, sir. You have, was it 40 something?
42-17.
Okay. Heading to over, definitely covering the spread. K-State is just a better team. Shout out to Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Those two players are amazing. They'll go in the first round of the NFL draft. Hunter should win the Heisman.
It's just a team game, guys. Sorry.
It's a team game. And, we were handed the script before the season, Kenny.
Yes.
And it does not look good for Colorado, man. The gods and the script says K-State wins this game, man. It's just the way it is.
It said right there when we looked down at the schedule and we saw the K-State versus Colorado game, it just right next to it says K-State is going to blow the doors off of Colorado. I mean, that's what it said. We're going to go in. We're going to blow the doors off of Colorado.
Essentially, basically, the football gods said K-State is better. But, I will say this about Deion Sanders. He's the second greatest athlete I've ever seen. I put this in the comments earlier. second greatest athlete to only Bo Jackson. Bo knows. If you guys know, you know. Okay,
Yeah,
moving on. Cincinnati at UCF. This is a game between two middle to lower of the pack Big 12 teams here. I'm not sure what to think about this game. It is in Orlando. UCF favored by 3, over under 58.5. I feel like you got to hit that over, man. You got to hit that over considering the defenses on for these games or for these teams. Cincinnati gave up 44 to Texas Tech. UCF gave up 48 to Colorado. I mean, they're almost giving up as much as the over under is. So definitely going to hit that over here. Kenny, what is your score projection here for Cincinnati UCF?
You know, Steve, I think it's time to just jump off of the UCF hype train. I think it never even left the station, honestly. It like they went through their non-con and it was going. They made a pit stop and it hasn't started up again. I think Cincinnati goes in. I don't know what UCF is going to do against the Cincinnati offense. I think their offense is actually pretty darn good. And it's going to be, you know, defense, like Cincinnati's defense is not the greatest, but neither is UCF's defense. So I'm going to go with the Cincinnati win here, even though they are going to UCF, but we just saw what Colorado did to UCF. I mean, UCF, for whatever reason. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, but I heard that Gus had lost a lot of players in the transfer portal. That was like some news that had came out.
Malzahn? Gus Malzahn?
Yeah, the UCF coach. He lost a ton of players in the transfer portal. They don't even have their kicker, the boomer kid. Like he's not on the team anymore. He left. There's like a lot of players
that is true. Everything you're saying is absolutely true.
So
5 people in the last couple days have left the UCF program.
That's alarming, dude. That's alarming. Yep. So something's going on at UCF, and it's not the players. We know the players are super solid. I mean, Gus gets he gets so much praise for being such a great recruiting coach, but if the culture isn't there and the coaching isn't there, then I don't know what you're gonna do. So I think Cincinnati is just a better holistic team right now. I think they're playing it as a team better than UCF is. I think UCF is falling apart. So I'm going to say Cincinnati. I'm going to give them like 35, UCF 24.
I'm going crazy high on this because I feel like both defenses are absolute trash. I got Cincinnati winning 48-42.
Yeah, okay. I see that. I was thinking about that, but I'm like, yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. It's an away game for Cincinnati. We'll see, but I can see your score being like more realistic.
I mean, it's gonna be like the whole Cincinnati Texas Tech game. It really is. I don't know. Maybe UCF scores less than that because I mean, maybe Colorado did break them. Who knows, man? Who knows? So, okay, moving on here. 3:00 on Fox. This is going to be a fun game. Arizona at BYU. We're going to see if BYU is for real. Shout out to their
What time is this game? 3 o'clock? Okay.
3:00. Yeah, perfect timing because we'll be done with our volleyball games. So shout out to us, coaches of the year here.
Mm-hmm.
We coach our daughter's volleyball team. We are 5-1. Both of our kids are pretty good. Our team is really good as well. We should be done with our game by 2:00. Should be able to watch this game.
Yeah.
What do you got here, man? Does BYU keep rolling or does Arizona get the upset?
I think Arizona might get the upset here, Steve. I think they might actually get the upset. I think their win over K-State was a little fluky, but nonetheless, it's a dub, and you have a check in the win column, which you want to have. Their win over Baylor is looking worse and worse. Any win over Baylor, UCF, TCU, KU, any win over those teams is just looking really, really bad. I'll even throw Oklahoma State in there because Oklahoma State is another one of those teams. As anybody who wins on that, not impressive, as impressive, I should say. So, but Arizona, they're going to want to redeem themselves for a loss at home at their Big 12 opener against Texas Tech, against an embarrassing fumble at the end of the game. Also, Fafita throwing lots of interceptions. Yeah, man. We definitely need to. Uh, I think Arizona's going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. I think BYU that I think they're still that team that has they're rolling right now. They're rolling. Things are going well for this school. And sometimes like you could just be like Johnny Manziel and just be rolling, you know? You could just be rolling and just things just go your way in football games.
So what's your
But
score?
I'm going to say Arizona wins this game. It's going to be, and I'm sorry, BYU, but I think Arizona's going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to have a lot to prove. But Arizona's going to come in and win 35-31.
I cannot wait for the I'm sorry BYU video part 2. Dude, this is actually the best comment ever, dude. Your daughters have the same record CU is going to have on Sunday. Congrats. Because our team is 5-1. No, K-State is going to have the same record our daughter's volleyball team come Sunday.
Yeah, you misspelled K-State.
Which, by the way, we have 2 games on Saturday. So by that point, we will be 7-1. Because I don't see us losing again, man. Our volleyball team is pretty good.
They're elite. They are elite.
Okay. Yeah, no, you are wrong here for picking Arizona. I don't know how you could do that. BYU, you had them favored as the number 1 team in the Big 12, so I don't know how you're picking against them. I mean, you laid out a bunch of things. I don't agree with any of it. I got BYU winning 31-17 at home. They keep things rolling. They get the 6-0. As I look to the back half of the season, man, I really hope K-State gets a rematch against them in the Big 12 championship. But yeah, I got BYU winning this game.
I want BYU. I want BYU to win, but I just have like there's been so many upsets in college football, and I just feel like crazy things happen after bye weeks, and Arizona is definitely going to be coming in. Look, they already beat a Utah team, and they're going to have to go back to Utah again with a chip on their shoulder. I don't think they're going to. I mean, we saw what happened when they lost against K-State. They came and won against Utah. I know we talked about how they had 2 weeks to prepare for that. But again, BYU's, I guess you could say BYU's had 2 weeks to prepare for Arizona. So maybe you're right. Maybe BYU does win. But I'm gonna stick with what my original prediction was. And I'm going to say that Arizona gets the upset. I haven't predicted an upset yet. So
I will say this: BYU's quarterback, Jake Retzloff. I mean, he's their entire offense. So at some point, he's going to have a bad game, and it's going to cost them because they have no one else that can do anything on offense. They have no one else. So they will lose at some point. It won't be Saturday. It will not be Saturday. Can't wait for that. I'm sorry, video.
Sneaky game here.
Sneaky good game between a pair of 2-0 Big 12 teams. Iowa State at West Virginia. Which shout out to Mountaineer fans. They're already in our comments about this game, talking about how they win like 67% of the time at night games and blah, blah, blah. I got Iowa State winning this game. I think the Mountaineers are good, not great. I think Iowa State is pretty darn good. I got Iowa State winning 38-24.
You know what I just realized? All the Texas teams are taking the week off.
Is it? I mean, is it too hot? Is it?
I don't
hurricane season? I mean, I know it's hurricane season, but who knows, man?
I just realized that not a single Texas team is playing this weekend. They all are colluding to take the week off. So Iowa State, they are historically a team that like takes a while to get better as the season goes on. But it seems like they're already at that level where they're pretty dang good. And it just seems like the games that they're winning, they're not really breaking a sweat in, which is actually kind of crazy. Like at no point when you're watching Iowa State, do you feel like they're not going to win. So I think West Virginia might come out and punch Iowa State in the mouth early, but I think Iowa State might claw back in the game and actually pull out the dub. So I'm going to just say Iowa State 30 points, West Virginia 27. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah, and K-State plays at West Virginia the very next week at night as well. So maybe they go 1-1. Who knows? Hopefully they lose to K-State if they're going to lose. So, yeah, like I said, I have West Virginia losing by 2 scores here. Okay, we're gonna pick a couple more games here. This is gonna be a look around the top 25. There's some good games, man. You
There's some
said it.
really good games.
Really, really, really good games. We're gonna pass by. Oh,
There's one.
Red River rivalry. Texas, Oklahoma. Texas favored by 14. That feels like a lot to me in a rivalry game. I know they're ranked number 1. Oklahoma always plays this game really well. I think I'm going to have Texas winning 38-31. Hitting it over, but not covering.
There is a world where Oklahoma can win this game. We're seeing upsets all over the place, man, and that's just college football in a nutshell. But I don't think the smart move is to pick Oklahoma to win. I just can't see it. Texas
pick them on the spread only, is what you're saying?
Or maybe I'll say they played a lot closer. I'll say Texas. It's definitely the over. I don't see how you can do the under here, but it's going to be probably Texas like 33, Oklahoma 24, probably.
I dig it. Yeah, and I mean, this is interesting that this is now an SEC game. That is crazy to think about. They were in a Big 12 forever. I mean, Oklahoma was playing games against K-State since like the 1920s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's wild how times have changed, man.
I know, dude. I know. Okay, moving on here.
Here's another one.
Here's 2 more. Ohio State at Oregon, 6:30 p.m. on NBC Peacock. Ohio State, Will Howard, favored by 3 points, over under 53.5. Wow. I watched Oregon last week against Michigan State. I was not impressed. They have not looked great all season. I don't see how Oregon would even come close in this game. I got Ohio State winning 30-14.
You put a lot of pauses in there.
You like that? You like that?
It's very interesting, though. Will Howard going against his former teammate, Kobe Savage. Oh, man, the storylines there. I mean, that's kind of cool that they'll be able to see each other, though. A lot of respect to both of those players. They actually did amazing stuff for K-State 2 years ago with helping us get to the Big 12 championship and winning the Big 12 championship game 2 years ago. Lots of credit to Will Howard. He's a great quarterback. I do think Ohio State is going to win. I just think you have a veteran quarterback like Will Howard, and he's got some dudes that he can throw to, man. It's really, really impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and say that, yeah, Ohio State does beat Oregon. I think they're going to, and it's crazy, dude. Will Howard going to be throwing against his old teammate. Oh man, that's a pretty cool storyline. Because Kobe Savage is a safety for those who don't know, and of course Will Howard is the quarterback. So opposite ends of the football, they're gonna be playing against each other in the game. It's gonna be really fun to watch. But Ohio State is definitely gonna win. Gonna have 35 points to I'll say like 21. I don't think Oregon's gonna get that many on them.
And we actually really do like Kobe Savage and his dad, and he was great to hang out with and interview last year here on the pod. Yeah, but he's not had the best season. I will say that.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll be number 18 versus number 5 Saturday night. We'll pick one or
Ole
two
Miss
more.
and LSU.
Yeah, let's pick it. I don't think LSU is that good. I'll be honest. South Carolina should have beat them, and I think the Gamecocks are not very good. I don't think Ole Miss is the best either, but I like their offense a lot more. I mean, geez, their quarterback already has 2,100 yards. So I'm going to pick Ole Miss to win 35-21.
Dude, they've got a guy on their team named Parrish.
They do. At running back.
That's legit.
Carries. That's a lot of carries already. Jeez. Especially when
carries.
Especially when your quarterback has 2,100 yards.
Man, their offense is just all offense.
I mean, Lane Kiffin for real, dude. Lane Kiffin.
My goodness. Okay. Yeah, I think I agree with you about LSU not being. I think they're a little overrated. So yeah, Ole Miss, we'll take them. I'm going to give them 40, probably like 45, and LSU I'll give them like 28.
45-28, Ole Miss winning. And that's it. That's our picks for this weekend's college football games. Woo.